The butterfly effect suggests that the flap of a wing in Brazil could set off a tornado in Texas. In the context of history, the wing flap of a single biological event, a different sperm cell reaching the egg, or a specific ancestor never being born, doesn't just change a name, it reshapes the entire global landscape. If Clara Pölzl, Hitler's mother, had never been conceived, or if she had given birth to a daughter in 1889, the 20th century would be unrecognizable. The immediate biological shift. If Clara Pölzl were never born, Alois Hitler, Adolf's father, likely would have remained with his second wife, Franziska Matzelsberger, or married another woman entirely. The specific genetic combination and the volatile household environment that raised Adolf would vanish. If she gave birth to a girl, the patriarchal structures of late 19th century Austria would have dictated a different path. In 1914, this daughter would not have been allowed to enlist in the Bavarian army. Without the frontline radicalization of World War I, the specific catalyst for Hitler's transition from a failed artist to a political demagogue disappears.
The political vacuum in Weimar Germany. The common debate in history is great man theory versus historical materialism. Would the same tragedies have happened because the conditions were ripe, or was Hitler a unique black swan event? The rise of a different right. Germany in the 1920s was a pressure cooker of resentment due to the Treaty of Versailles. Without Hitler's specific oratorical talent, the Nazi Party, DAP and SDAP, likely remains a fringe group of brawlers. A more traditional military autocrat or a conservative monarchist might have eventually seized power instead. The red alternative? Without a strong, charismatic far right to counter them, the German Communist Party, KPD, might have been the ones to successfully overthrow the weak Weimar Republic. A Soviet-aligned Germany would have shifted the Cold War to the 1930s.
3. Global ripples. A world without the Führer. If we remove Hitler's specific obsessions, specifically his industrial-scale anti-Semitism and the quest for Lebensraum, living space, the world map looks radically different. The Holocaust. While anti-Semitism was widespread in Europe, the final solution was a specific product of Hitler's inner circle. Millions of lives are likely spared, and the Jewish diaspora remains centered in Europe rather than the US and Mandate Palestine. Science and tech. The brain drain of Jewish scientists like Einstein to America might not happen. The development of the atomic bomb, jet engines, and V-2 rockets, the precursor to the moon landing, is delayed by decades without the desperate arms race of World War II. The British Empire. Without the crushing debt of a 6-year total war, the British Empire might have clung to its colonies like India and African nations for several more decades, delaying global decolonization. The State of Israel. The geopolitical momentum for the creation of Israel in 1948 was largely driven by the horrors of the Holocaust. Without that tragedy, the Middle East as we know it would not exist. 4. The darker butterfly effect. Ironically, some historians argue that a competent German leader might have been more dangerous. Hitler's tactical errors, like invading the Soviet Union while fighting Britain, were born of his specific ego. A traditional Prussian general leading Germany might have reclaimed lost territories through limited professional warfare without triggering a total global collapse. This could have resulted in a German-dominated Europe that exists to this day, potentially under a stable authoritarian regime rather than a democracy. History is a web of infinite variables. By removing one man, you don't just fix the past. You trade one set of tragedies for an entirely new set of unknowns. Do you think historical change is driven more by the unique personalities of great leaders, or are the underlying economic and social forces so strong that someone else would have eventually filled Hitler's shoes? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more market news. I'll see you in the next one.